Joining me now is Boomgard Zagrodnik. He's an atmospheric scientist and postdoctoral researcher at Washington State University. Good to have you on the program.
Hi, Gerald.
Hi there. So, it's hotter in parts of Western Canada today than it is in Dubai, which is notorious, of course, for its desert summers. What does that tell us?
So this is definitely an unprecedented event, and here in Seattle we broke our all-time temperature record yesterday, and we'll break it again today. And this event is not only a significant meteorological event, but we're clearly seeing the effects of climate change, making this even worse than it would have been otherwise. The scale and magnitude is just simply unheard of for this part of the world.
And of course, what we're seeing right there in the sort of the Pacific Northwest is also seems to be part of a trend. You know, lately we've seen records being broken in Northern Europe, in Australia. Are climate scientists worried?
Yes, I think we're very worried here. There's been a trend in the Pacific Northwest that several of the recent summers have had record temperatures in the summer, and that's led to wildfires. It's led to concerns about our salmon and our natural resources, and it appears that this is just another one in this string of very serious weather events.
All right, Joe, so we know this is part of climate change, but how much of it is it man-made? Or could one argue that this is nature going through a cycle?
Well, so there's definitely somewhat of a cycle involved in any heat wave because it is a temporary weather event that forms from variations in the jet stream. But in order to get these all-time record temperatures that are just smashed so easily, just so much above anything that was observed in over 100 years of records, climate change is taking the most extreme events and making them even worse than they would have been otherwise.
Joe, do you fear that as a global society we're getting just too comfortable with climate change? I mean, we are really good at adapting. We can just crank air conditioning when it gets hot, turn up the heat during severe winters. So, you know, there's sort of no skin off our back sometimes.
Yes, I think that what's scary is that we're already seeing this in the year 2021. So as the climate continues to warm, many are fearing what will this look like in 2030, 2050, or beyond if we don't take any action about climate change. The planet has only warmed a small amount, and we're already seeing these impacts. So it's only going to get worse if we don't do anything about it.
Okay, so we talk about taking action. You know, we often just expect the government to come up with policies to cut emissions. So what are, you know, 3 simple things, practical ones that you and I can do starting from today that will make a huge difference to reduce our carbon footprint?
Well, I think that transportation is one of the biggest sources of greenhouse gas emissions. So anything that we can do to just not travel, not use, try and change to electric cars or make our cities more dense so that people can live closer to their places of work. Air travel is another significant source of climate change. But I do think that many of the solutions have to be on the national and international scale. That's ultimately where the needle can be moved the most in terms of making a real dent in global CO2 emissions.
All right, we got to aim big, right? Boomgard Zagrodnik, thank you so much for your time.